Prison officers are said to be walking on eggshells over the arrival of a feared hitman who claims Gangland associates still owe him £10,000. Barry Baghdad Harvey is holed up in Addiewell after being switched there via Saughton and HMP Grampian amid fears he is an agitator in Scotland's ongoing gang wars. Harvey, caged for his leading role in an underworld murder squad, was placed in isolation last year as jail chiefs battled to keep bitter underworld enemies apart. The 37-year-old has now been returned to the main halls in Addiewell, but insiders say the feared killer is still a menacing presence. One insider said Barry Harvey has recently been let out of solitary confinement, which is where he has been for the last 7 months. He has now been moved to Addiewell, and the full establishment is walking on eggshells because of his reputation. The influence he holds over other prisoners is scary. Harvey's threatening air is said to be linked to his claims he still owed £10,000 for the brutal Gangland murder of gym boss Gary Moore. The alleged outstanding payment is linked to a bitter fallout between Harvey and Paul the Captain Fleming, as well as caged Gillespie gang mob boss James the Don White. New claims about the rift emerged after we told how Harvey is furious at having been cut out of the crime clan as they scramble to recoup drug debts. It's claimed the dirty money trail leads back to the brothers James Gillespie, who's 52, and his 48-year-old brother Barry, who headed up the criminal network before they vanished in 2019. An underworld source said Barry Harvey wants the £10,000 from Fleming and White over the final payment for the Gary Moore hit in Airdrie, but neither White or Fleming have the financial resources available, contrary to what has been claimed about the millions they've made. White and Fleming still owe James Gillespie over £1.2 million, and they have both been told to recover their outstanding drug debts or face the consequences. Former budding football star Harvey of Maryhill was convicted of shooting the gym boss 9 times outside his house in September 2018. The maniac was also nailed for attempting to murder drug dealer Scott Bennett, who's 45, who survived being shot in the head at point-blank range in Rutherglen near Glasgow. Harvey conspired with 30-year-old Thomas Guthrie and 25-year-old Darren Owen and Neil Anderson, who's 50, to target the men just months apart over drug debts. Owen was also convicted of murdering Polish criminal Rafał Lajko, who's 36, but it was accepted at trial he was not the gunman. Lajko was lured to his death with a false promise of work in Spain to help him repay money owed to mob bosses. He was blasted in the head in Blantyre in Lanarkshire on February the 11th, 2019, as he sat in the passenger of a seat of a stolen Mercedes, which was set alight, becoming a burnt-out tomb. Former Partick Thistle youth player Harvey was jailed for a minimum of 29 years in March 2024 for the hits on Moore and Bennett. We told in November of claims Harvey had been frozen out by kingpins over his prison feud with 41-year-old Fleming. The order to ostracise him was given by caged cocaine gang Supremo White and his right-hand man Christopher Hughes, who is serving 25 years for the gun murder of Dutch crime journalist Martin Koch outside a sex club in 2016. The pair sit at the top of the so-called Operation Escalade cartel that was formerly run by the missing Gillespie brothers. Skint Harvey was said to be furious at the help given to Fleming while his own pleas for cash were knocked back. Insiders say Fleming has been given extra muscle to call in the debts by feared hood Ellis Hardy, who's 46, as both served time for cocaine smuggling at Castle Huntley Nick near Dundee. Cops are continuing to investigate a firebomb attack on Fleming's home in Bishop Briggs in July. Sources claim the willful attack was carried out by thugs following Harvey's orders. A Police Scotland spokesperson said a number of inquiries were carried out, however no one has been arrested or charged in connection with the incident. Should further information be received, it will be progressed as appropriate.